Hey guys, it's Mrs. Longmire. Today's reading lesson is going to be how readers have different voices. We're going to talk about the different voices that readers have. We're actually going to talk about two voices today. We're going to talk about the reading voice. That's the voice that actually reads the words. It's the loud voice that's reading the words and looking at the pictures. I like how the reading voice is shaped like a speech bubble because it's what you're actually saying when you read. And it's always on green paper. And so we have the reading voice, and then that's what the words and pictures actually say. And then you have your thinking voice, and it's shaped like a cloud, like a thought bubble. It's what you're thinking. It's that voice that's whispering to you thoughts when you're reading. And it's on yellow. And so we're going to put the thinking voice on this side of our reader, and then it's what the words and pictures mean. And so these two voices actually have to work together. You're going to read some words, and then you're going to have a thought. And then you're going to read some more words, and then you're going to have a thought. And you're going to go back and forth. And so you really switch back and forth, and they work together so that you can understand what you're reading. If you don't have the thinking voice and you just have the reading voice, you're just going to be reading words, but you're not going to understand what it means. And so you have to have that thinking voice too, so that you can think about and understand what you're reading. I'm going to model this today and show you how you could use both of these voices when you're reading, and then you're going to get a chance to try it as well. Now, I know a lot of kids like Pete the Cat books. And so I'm excited today. We're going to use a Pete the Cat book, but I actually found it on a website called Epic that have lots of different books on there for kids to read. And so we'll put the link in the with the video so that you can get on Epic. But what I love about Epic also is that the books can be read to you. So if you don't have a reading voice yet, or you can only read a few words and you can't read all the words, on Epic you can push play or read to me, and then the computer can be the reading voice, but you can pause it and stop and use your thinking voice. Or your parents could be your reading voice, or an older brother or sister could help you if you need help with your reading voice, but then you can really focus on your thinking voice and your thoughts when you're reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, and I can show you how this will work. So I'll share my screen. So it's Pete the Cat, a pet for Pete. Pete is going to the pet store. He is going to get a pet. He wants a bird, a hamster, or a lizard. Now let me think about this. When I see the word pet store, the words pet store, it makes me think about a pet store. And I've been to one, and there's lots of animals, but then there's also animal food and cages or aquariums or, fish tanks or leashes, supplies you would need. And he's talking about wanting a bird or a hamster or a lizard. So I'm thinking about those animal choices. Okay. Let's use our reading voice again. But then Pete sees a goldfish. That's what I want, he tells his mom. So let me use my thinking voice. So he wants a goldfish. So let me think about what he might need. He would probably need a tank or a bowl and water and fish food. Pete's mom gets fish food. I'm going to call you Goldie, Pete says to his new pet. You are my first pet, Pete tells Goldie on the way home. So now let me think. Well, Pete is naming the fish Goldie, probably because of goldfish. Yeah. And then he says, you're my first pet. Well, so that makes me think, well, Pete's never had a pet before. So he's going to have to learn how to take care of a pet and all the responsibilities that come along with having a pet. Okay, let's go back to my reading voice. Pete takes Goldie to his room. He feeds her fish food. Now what? Pete asks. He can't play with Goldie. He can't swim with her. Pete knows what he can do. And he's got a little thought bubble there. So let me use my thinking voice. Well, I never thought about that, but you can't really play with a goldfish or swim with them. But Pete has an idea. Wonder what he could do with a fish. Well, he could read to the fish. Or I know Pete likes to play the guitar and sing. Maybe he could sing to the fish. Use our reading voice again. Pete paints a picture of Goldie. He paints 4 fins and an orange tail. Well, he's painting the fish to look exactly like Goldie. He's putting it right next to the bowl. So he wants to make sure that the painting looks exactly like Goldie. What a pretty painting, said Pete's mom. You can keep it, says Pete. Cool painting, says Bob. Can you make one for me? Sure, says Pete. Pete paints a picture for Bob. Wow, says Bob. It looks just like Goldie. Bob shows Pete's painting to his friend Tom. Now Tom wants a painting too. Pete paints another picture for Goldie to take to school for show and tell. Now I'm going to let you use your thinking voice. What do you think show and tell might look like? Were you thinking that all the kids could actually see what Goldie looks like? And I was thinking that maybe some of them would want pictures like Bob and Tom. Were you thinking that? Let's use our reading voice again. This is Goldie, my pet fish, Pete tells his class. Cute fish, cool colors, nice work. I wish I had a picture of Goldie, says Benny. I'll make you one, says Pete. Everyone in Pete's class wants a painting of Goldie. So now everyone wants a picture. Now you think about what Pete's going to do next. Are you thinking he's going to try to make everyone a picture? I was thinking he might need extra paint and paper. Pete's grandma wants a painting too. Pete has a lot to do. He has to feed Goldie. He has to do homework. Pete paints and paints. He makes paintings for everyone on his list. At last, Pete is done. He worked hard. There is no paint left. Use your thinking voice. What is Pete going to do now? Are you thinking he might have to get new paint or more paint? And I'm thinking about how tired he looks. He's worked hard. Pete's paintings are a big hit. Pete is happy to be done, but Pete is not done. Now everyone in town wants a painting of Goldie. Pete gets more paint. I don't know what to do, he says to his mom. I wish I could paint pictures for everyone. I just don't have time. So what's Pete's problem? Use your thinking voice. Are you thinking he needs more paint? Are you thinking there's just too many pictures to paint? That's what I was thinking. Too many. He doesn't have enough time. Pete's mom has an idea. She tells it to Pete. Great idea, says Pete. Pete gets right to it. This time he works outside and makes a huge painting. Think about that word, huge, and what mom's idea is. Were you thinking about how big his painting is? Look, he needs a ladder to reach it. It's way bigger than he is. Mom's idea was to paint a big picture. Honk, honk, beep, beep. Here comes Pete. He has made one painting for Goldie for everyone in town to enjoy. He made a big picture, didn't he? Think about his idea. He strapped it to the car, didn't he? And now everyone that when they drive around town, everyone can see it. What a great day. When Pete gets home, he tells the real Goldie all about it. So think about what he's telling Goldie. Do you think he's telling her she's famous and that everyone in town can see her picture and what she looks like? Yeah. See how these voices work together? We read a few words and then we thought about it and what it means. We read a few more words and looked at the picture and then we thought about what that means. These two voices have to work together for good readers to understand what they're reading. You have to have both voices. Okay, and so if you were in Mrs. Longmire's class, I would next have you make your own reading voice and thinking voice signs, but your teacher might have a better idea. I had my own daughter Lola help me make reading and thinking voice signs, and it's really easy to do. We're going to give you all the resources that you would need, so you could print it out and cut it out, or you could draw and make your own. And like for Lola, she cut it out and she made the reading voice signs green, and then the thinking voice sign yellow, and then you could practice at home using your reading voice and your thinking voice. You can get on Epic and read other Pete the Cat books or any books you want, or use books that you have yourself at home, or magazines or comic strips, anything. But you can use and practice using your reading voice and your thinking voice and try to use both of them together. Thanks and have a great day.